What's going on, guys? It's Greg Farley from the Wise Guys, aka Pegasus, and we got to talk about the special edition, man. As soon as you probably see this, where your locals is, there will be a special edition of Rising Rampage. Now, we all know Rising Rampage was a horrible set, but they have the special edition now, which means you have new cards. The new cards, as we're going to list them, are pretty good for the Marincess archetype. Salamangreat Coyote is okay, so I guess we could talk about him first. So let's jump into these cards, shall we? Now, Salamangreat Coyote is a level 3 and it's a fire type, just like the rest of the Salamangreats, with 1,000 attack and 200 defense during the end phase. Now, zoom back to me. That card, anytime there's an end phase card, is it really good like that? Probably not. Let's just be real. But anyway, back into the card. During the end phase, if this card is in the graveyard because it was sent there as link material this turn, you can activate one of the following effects. So right off the bat, it's situational. But you can target one Salamangreat monster in your graveyard except Salamangreat Coyote and special summon it in defense position. Is that card very good? No. That part of the card isn't very good. The card isn't very good. But the second effect may come up, and that's where I feel like a Salamangreat player may think about it. But already I speak to so many good Salamangreat players that they're probably going to decide against it. So the second part of the effect is target one Salamangreat card in your graveyard except Salamangreat Coyote, add it to your hand. You can only use this effect of Salamangreat Coyote once per turn. So that part is pretty good. I'm just going to keep it real. That part is pretty good. Moving on, we got to talk about the Marincess cards. We got to talk about Marincess Battle Ocean. I've been waiting on this deck. You guys know I love this deck. You guys know how awesome the archetype is. It's a little bit of a cross between Salamangreat and somewhere between Noble Knight-ish kind of, but it's a new game mechanic where it's Crystal Beast as well, but it's 100 times better than Crystal Beast could ever be. However, let's jump into the field spell. All Marincess monsters you control gain 200 attack. Each one gains 600 attack for each Marincess card equipped to it. So that's very, very important. It gains a lot. So cards can get up in the 4,000s. Monsters you control in the extra monster zone that were linked summoned using Marincess Crystal Heart, which does not exist yet. So we're still waiting a little bit. As material are unaffected by your opponent's card effects. So basically, the link 4, the link 3 is basically turning into a towers. So Marbled Rock is going to be really good with that. But for right now, I would hold off on the deck. But Wonder Heart being the main thing, until we get Crystal Heart, it's not going to really take off, but it's going to be very, very, very good. Anyways, when you link some of the Marincess monster to the extra monster zone during that demonstration, you can equip up to 3 of the link monsters. So it's very important that you know 3 monsters with 3 different names are going to be equipped to it, and then from there a new game mechanic is going to exist, which is awesome. I can't wait because I've been waiting on it the whole time. I feel like it should have came out with Rising Rampage in the first place, but that's beside the point. Let's get into the next card, shall we? Now, when we move on, we got Marincess Sea Angel. Marincess Sea Angel is a link 1, not a level 1. Cyburst link monster with 1 level 4 or lower Marincess monster being the requirements. If this card is link summoned, you can add 1 Marincess spell from your deck to your hand. It's obviously going to be the field spell, but as the archetype grows and it's going to keep getting support, this card is only going to be more and more and more relevant. I feel like eventually they may come up with a quick play that may do something wild. You just never know. You never know with Konami. The most important part about this card is the search in the field spell and that it points to the left. And there are cards coming out, which is Marincess Mandarin, whatever they're going to change her name to, and Blue Tang. They all set up this card as well as Blue Slug to create a very, very dominant board and get to the link 4 as fast as possible. Last up, we got to talk about the one Wonder Heart. Marincess Wonder Heart is a link 4, and once per battle during damage calculation, if this card battles a monster, quick effect, you can special summon one of your Marincess monsters equipped to this card. Also, this card cannot be destroyed by that battle, and you take no battle damage from that battle. Equip that special summon monster back to it in the end phase, blah, 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 blah. And then when this card is destroyed by an opponent's card, it floats downwards. So it's not just towers where as soon as you finally get over it, you're done dealing with stuff. Marbled Rock will come on the field, and then Marbled Rock can protect your cards, and then it can come back to you, and then you can make Shooting Code Talker, you can Boral Sword, you can Boral Load, which you're going to have to play if you're planning on playing a mirror match. This deck is a hell of a lot better than people think. It hasn't really been talked about because nobody's doing anything overseas with it, but I never really pay attention to OCG like that. It's very, very important to pay attention to it, but I watch it for trends. I don't watch it for every deck because sometimes they don't play decks. They have Cosmo Full Power with, I think, 3 E-Telly, and they don't even touch the deck. I think that's crazy, but, you know, the OCG is the OCG. It's just wild. That's pretty much all the cards, guys. All these cards are very, very good. Make sure you check out the special edition. Buy the singles if you can, because let's just be real. You know, the set is kind of cheeks. Let's just be real. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Go to the Wise Guys public group page. Make sure you join it. After you join it, very, very key. After you join it, join in some of the free roll tournaments, some of the dollar tournaments, and then some of the money tournaments where we have huge stuff on the line. We got Millennium Puzzle tournaments coming. We got Star Chip Challenge tournaments. See, you don't even know what I'm talking about. So I would go to the Wise Guys public group page. Shout out to our sponsors in gaming, and I'll see you next time. YG baby.